Morning guys, so as you hopefully saw in the last video, we swapped over the valve stem seals on the 1JZ. Now, because that's all done, all the camshafts and the holders and the valve covers and all that are all in. The camshafts are all basically in, torqued down to what they should be, rotated, torqued again, all that kind of stuff. New oil seals, the half moons in the back of the head, they've all been redone. Resealed and everything like that, and the valve covers have been lightly put on so that when I paint the block, it paints right up to the bits where the valve covers will go. So today we're going to be changing the oil squirters. Going to be changing the oil squirters, the rear cam seal, and putting the sumps back on, hopefully, and then we'll be getting all ready for paint. Basically, we'll have the whole thing together. Flip it over, we'll paint it in one block, and then we'll start painting the ancillaries off there. So let's go on with it. Here are the new oil squirters that I got from JDM Garage. They're all Toyota OEM oil squirters. They all come with the bolts and everything like that. Now, from what I think online, these need to be torqued down to 18 foot-pound or 18 Newton meters. I have got it written down, but I'm obviously using my phone, so I can't check it right now. But I will check it before I put it in. We've got like a full gasket kit as well from JDM Garage. It's a little bit pricey, but they are all actual Toyota OEM gaskets. They're not cheaply punched out or anything like that. They are actually for this engine, 100%. I've put quite a lot of them in already. This is the rear crank seal, so we've got to get that out and put that back in. But obviously the block here, covered it with a sheet for now because obviously I weren't working on it yesterday. But this is basically what we've got to do. So obviously you can see the crank here. That's around the other side. See the crank in. Obviously you can see the state of this engine. Obviously it hasn't had... I gave it regular oil changes, but I've never done a flush. I wish I did, so I'll have to do that when it's all back in. We've got the new oil pump on already. That's all ready to go. But they are the oil squirters. You can see down there. Alright, so we need to get them out of there. And we'll get them out of there one at a time. Get them out of there one at a time. Change them over. And yeah, we'll get that done. And then we'll clean up all of this. Clean up all the base of the block. Change the O-ring. Remove the rear crank. I don't know what you call that. Bracket, plate, whatever, which has got the rear crank seal in it. And change all of that. And then once we're done with that, we'll reseal it all and put the first sump on, and then reseal that other side and put the second sump on. So there we go. Now we've got one of them out already, as you can see. They're fairly easy to get out. I've worked out the torque, so I just didn't trust the advice I was given online. But you just have to have your Allen drive on there. Yeah, loosen it off. Out comes a bolt. You want to focus? There you go. Out comes a bolt. Just put it to the side. And then just get a long pair of pliers. Just get in there. Hold on to the edge of the head of the squirter. And the squirt will just come straight out. I mean, look at the state of that. Now we had a momentary blip there. One of the Allen headed bolts holding the squirters in decided it wanted to round off. But luckily I was able to put the Allen head in there a bit further, hammer it in, and it did finally let go. So yeah, all the squirters are now out. So see where these holes are there? That's where all the squirters obviously locate. So if we now put the new ones in, job's a good one. Like I said, these are the fresh new ones. Now I don't know why, but these ones have got a much smaller head nozzle on them than these ones. That's the old one, that's the new one. I mean, it's quite a difference. I have no idea why, but these are the ones that JDM Garage have given me. So let's install them and see how it goes. Alright, and that's the new oil squirters all torqued. Had a little bit of problem with my torque wrench there. For some reason it wasn't registering properly, so I had to remove the bolts again just to make sure that I weren't over tightening them, because I do not want a sheared bolt in the block that I have to then get out. So now we're going to go about cleaning all of this, get it ready to put the new sump back on. Okay, I say that, but first of all what I'm going to do is change the rear crank seal. Now I took this off obviously from the back. I haven't put the new one in yet, but look at the state of it. So I'm going to give it a good wash with some degreaser and that before I put the new one back in. But as you can see here, that's where it came from. Now there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts around there, 6 10mm bolts, or 10mm headed bolts, holding that in. And there's also, as you can see, this thin bead of sealant. Now when you flip that over, there's a groove in there. We've obviously got to put the sealant in. So yeah, before you put it back in, remember to put the sealant on. Right, so we've got the rear crank seal all new, cleaned up, and then the bead of sealant around there. I cleaned all the sump gasket, or cleaned all the sump area up, all the back of the crank, where this seats are degreased and cleaned all of that. Put a new O-ring in where the sump will mate to it. So let's install it. Right, so the rear crank seal is in with its new sealant. I've still got to change that bearing in the back, but that was a bit of an arsehole to put on there. The metal ring, the metal spring on the inside decided to ping off right at the last minute, so I needed to take it off, take all the sealant off again and do it again. But now that's in there, now we can seal all of this and put the sumps on. Now, this is the first sump. Alright, I think it's called the mid sump or whatever. So obviously when I apply the sealant, and it used to obviously run round here, all in these little grooves and stuff like that, just so it's all right. But then you've got a secondary sump, which is obviously that one over there. Still need to connect the baffle and the oil pickup and all that in there as well. So we'll get onto that. Right guys, this is as far as we've got with this today. We have managed to put the secondary sump on, the baffle back in, the oil pickup on. We're still waiting for a gasket from Toyota for the for this actually. Hang on, for this oil level sensor. I pulled that one off and it just didn't look the greatest. I rung Toyota up and they were like, "Oh yeah, they're only £2, so we've got one coming to us." But that's the first, second sump, whatever you want to call it. That's all cleaned up and that's ready to go back on. But yeah, we'll wait until we get the sensor tomorrow to be able to put the rest of it on. The sump is all now silicone sealed on, all torqued down, so is the baffle and the oil pickup. So yeah, we are getting there really. We now need to obviously put that back on, and then this weekend hopefully we'll just clean the head and the block down just a little bit more, and we'll be painting the whole thing. First of all VHT primer, then VHT black. The rocker covers will be gloss black. Everything will be black. It'll just be a black lump sat in the engine bay, which should look lovely. So yeah, I'll make another video for tomorrow on that when I get the other bits, and yeah, we'll see how we go on that one. So until then guys, cheers for tuning in. I know it might not be the most exciting of videos compared to others out there, but this is just basically a document of me building this 1J, because I didn't do anything like this video wise for the 7M, and every time I meet someone at a car show and they see the work that's been done to it, they kind of tell me I was a fool for not doing this kind of thing earlier. So yeah, hopefully the videos get a bit more interesting, and yeah, we'll see you again. So like and subscribe, and just please try and keep it alive. All right, see you later. Bye.